Thank you for staying with us live on the Weather Channel as we continue to track Hurricane Ida. I only say that because that's what the sheriff here in St. John the Baptist Parish has said. The storm may have passed, but the storm is not over. This is one of those days where the Weather Channel is going to be your one-stop shop for seeing things you've never seen before. Earlier, we did have that 81-mile-per-hour gust. It knocked over a 18-wheeler, a semi, on one of the bridges leading to Pensacola Beach, Florida. By the time they got into their car, in their driveway, outside of their house, the water was lifting their car and moving it away. This is a place for girls and young women to go who are in crisis, and this morning they are mourning 8 of their own. And that is what we're finding all across Laplace, St. John's the Baptist Parish, and really all of southeastern Louisiana. It's people helping people that make this all better. I'm standing right now in the Trace Creek. It's only a few inches deep up my calf at this point, a little deeper right behind me if I get to the center of the creek. But folks, this is what flooded. And when I tell you it flooded, I mean it flooded in historic fashion. So not only did it go over the bridge that I'm standing next to, well over it, it went a lot further than that. So stay with me because I'm going to take you on a little tour here, because everywhere I'm standing, everywhere I'm going to walk, and everywhere you're going to see on Saturday afternoon and evening was completely underwater. How is your sister today?
She is fine. It took us 3.5 hours to find her, but we found her. She's living with us.
What did she tell you about floating from the foundation in this house to this position here?
Well, she belonged at 108 Joe Street where that block building is.
Yeah.
And she said she felt it lift up and
there it went.
Yeah, she said she watched your car go bye-bye down the road.
While she was floating away in her house?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, her caddy is the one that's nose up down on Clyden by Cash Labor.
Well, thank you for clarifying that for me, and I'm sorry your family is going through this. Just tragedy for you and for everybody else here.
It is, and my heart goes out to everybody that lost somebody and lost their house and everything. It's sad. It is very bad.
I'll let you. I know you guys have a ton of work to do. I'll leave you alone, and thank you. I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
I'm so sorry. Well, now we have a little clarification there, and that's great. Live right on the scene, we talked to the sister of the lady who floated, 400 or 500 feet in her house. Thank you for staying with us live on the Weather Channel as we continue to track Hurricane Ida. I only say that because that's what the sheriff here in St. John the Baptist Parish has said. The storm may have passed, but the storm is not over. And it exists now in a recovery effort as they try to bring places like Laplace, Louisiana back from absolute devastation, power infrastructure decimated, no fuel, no water, no resources of any kind. People are still evacuating because they just can't stay. So the people who have stayed, and they're trying to clean up, in many ways, as we're talking to them around town, even though they're going through all this, today they're counting their blessings.
Everything is wet.
The innocence of children, reminiscing about Hurricane Ida, striking Louisiana with winds of at least 150 miles per hour on Sunday.
Honey gets my Bible because I'm freaking out. Crying. Freaking out crying.
The dichotomy could not be more clear. Now, homes destroyed, trees down, power infrastructure decimated, neighborhoods underwater, Ida's fury visible across Louisiana. As the storm ravaged the coast, 60 miles inland in Laplace, Louisiana, Pastor Jonathan Smith and his wife Danielle were hunkering down with their 4 kids, nieces and nephews, and other family members. This time, they chose not to evacuate.
We knew it was going to be a bad storm, but we've weathered a bunch of bad ones, and this one came out to be a lot worse than what those were.
The decision to stay was soon regretted. The house filling with water, a tree falling on the roof, their cars flooded.
It's been rough.
Lisbeth Jackson is Danielle's mother. She was in the house, too.
No water, no air, living with water, gush up to our knees, trying to clear out debris, because the debris, now it's starting to smell and mold is sinking in.
During Ida, Jonathan got word that neighbors needed help.
As the storm began to slow down a little bit, we started getting reports of people that were stuck in their attic.
They jumped into action, leaving their family behind. The Smiths set out in their boat in the middle of Ida, a mother and a father of 4 and of faith, compelled to help neighbors in need.
She sat in the front to keep the winds from blowing the boat over.
It was definitely scary, but when you hear a mother in their attic with a newborn and 3 other kids themselves, knowing that we are surviving and we are still somewhat safe and being protected, and they have water coming in, as a mother, I would hope that somebody would be there for me in that situation.
It is their faith that sustained them through the storm and today.
And it's storms like these that I believe that can get our attention to what really, really matters. So if that's what God brings out of it, I thank him for it.
Ida's power has reaffirmed the faith in this pastor's wife in the reality of miracles.
For us to be able to find that house in pitch black with a flashlight, with trees down and cars in the street, going through a canal, to be able to find that house and those babies and to get back to the church safely was a miracle.
There's miracles that are taking place daily. It's just, are you willing to see them or not?
The tick population in the United States is exploding. In fact, the CDC says central Pennsylvania is the epicenter, and with more ticks come higher risk of tick-borne illness like Lyme disease.
It was a lot for me, yeah.
Sam Perry loves the outdoors. She's an athlete to her core. But after a tick bite in late 2014, she contracted Lyme disease. So the slightest little cut that might get a little infected can be a major problem for you.
Yeah, it's a big stressor on my immune system.
Sam had to take time away from high school and her freshman year at Penn State. Her new norm involves oxygen therapy, hydrotherapy, chiropractics, and antibiotics. How do you manage that?
It was really difficult. I mean, knowing what my body could do and knowing that it couldn't really do that anymore, I was so frustrated.
Lyme disease is a massive inflammation producing disease. It can create massive problems to our neurological system.
Warmer, wetter winters are offering ticks longer breeding seasons, allowing more time to spread Lyme from mice and deer to ticks. And those infected ticks then bite humans and our pets.
This is a deer tick.
The CDC reports as many as 300,000 people contract Lyme disease annually.
So it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
She's doing much better. Last time we talked, she was about 75, 80% better. But unfortunately, it's a bumpy road.
Sam's mother, Carrie, is learning all she can to help, even becoming an ambassador for Project Lyme to raise awareness of this very misunderstood disease.
People need to know that tick bites can make you incredibly sick.
I mean, I don't shy away from wilderness, even what I've been through. I love being outdoors, but you just have to take the proper precautions.
The CDC makes a few recommendations to keep you safe against ticks, including long sleeves, long pants, and long socks. And if you use insect spray, which they say you should, make sure it has at least 20% DEET on exposed skin. And when you come back inside, make sure you check yourself and your family for ticks. Sunrise over the Gulf of Mexico, a full week after Hurricane Ida struck Louisiana with a Category 4 force blow. A stark contrast to the fury with which Ida impacted places like Laplace, Louisiana. 30,000 people taking a direct hit in the western eye wall. St. John the Baptist Parish saw 80% of the state's storm rescues. 800 people depending on first responders to survive as Ida ravaged southeastern Louisiana.
The worst thing I think I ever seen.
Robert Bordelin and his young family now sit in long lines for essentials like water and food.
All I'm doing is keep getting in lines, getting food, because I got 3 families at my house with 4 dogs. I got to get food for all of them.
Much of southeastern Louisiana is without power, water, fuel, and food. The infrastructure here was decimated by the storm. Earlier estimates are that power may not be restored for weeks.
I constantly think about how can I get going.
Mehdi Ghaffari has owned the Laplace discount gas station for 16 years, a business now shut down by the lack of power. He brought his home generator in today to try to get it back online. If you could prioritize the use of the generator, what would it be?
I want to use it for fuel because I have about 5,000-6,000 gallon fuel in the tanks, in the ground. So I got to get that fuel out and service the people.
That amount of fuel could fill up more than 200 cars in a town where lines for fuel are more than 100 cars long at stations that have working pumps. But it all depends on power in a place where there is none thanks to Ida.
Whatever I can do individually for my family, for these people around here, I do it.
One business owner of many who want to help their community. But first, 25,000 line workers from 32 states working in heat indices of 100 degrees or more, need to repair a power system in shambles after Ida's winds brought life to a standstill. What was it like to see it right after it happened?
I tell you the truth, for a 32-year-old man, I cried. I had tears in my eyes. It hurt. The damage that we see on this storm, this has to be the worst storm I think we ever see.
Hurricane Ida did a lot of damage in St. John the Baptist Parish. We're in LaPlace, Louisiana, and there are so many people cleaning out their houses today and trying to figure out what's next. And that doesn't mean the sheriff of this parish is immune from that. Let's talk to Mike Treg, the sheriff of St. John the Baptist Parish. Sheriff, it's kind of sad, and we are very sad to be walking in front of the entire contents of your first floor. This has got to be very hard for you and your family to manage.
Well, I've seen this movie before. I did this for Hurricane Isaac. We did it again. Welcome to my office right here. This is the water line where the water came up in my office. Got all my favorite stuff here, my sofa, refrigerator, freezer, everything. But we're gonna get through it. Let's see the house.
Yeah, let's walk inside, sir. And it does. I mean, it's so sad. You know, the emotion is real.
That's my son right there. My wife been taking care of the house while I've been taking care of the parish. She's done a great job. I didn't do any of this. She did that, not me. I'm not gonna take the credit for that. But anyway, welcome to my house.
In here.
Water line, as you can see, everything came in. I got a good team. My wife got my office stuff out, the formal dining. I'm gutting all the sheetrock. We're gonna take all the sheetrock out. All my sofa and stuff was right here. I got crews in here with fans. Once we finish doing this, we're gonna put heaters in here and blow up the house and warm it up hot as can be and fry everything again so we can start again. This is my kitchen area right here. And my breakfast area was right here. Excuse me, man. Class, thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Thank you. All right. This is my garage. Got all my setup in here for my kitchen, outdoor kitchen and stuff like that. This is my patio to watch my Saints games. Hope I get to see the Saints this weekend. I'm a Who Dat, in case you don't know that. That's my pool right there.
Sheriff, I'll tell you.
Better than that.
I was going to say the pool's pretty telling as to what came through here, the floodwaters.
Yeah. This is my patio, my woosah area right here.
Well, Sheriff, tell me, as we walk through here, and you know you're going through this, but you know that there are probably countless other fellow residents in this parish dealing with it as well, not just on your street, but across the whole parish.
Listen, I'm doing this with you so we can show the rest of the country, don't forget about us. As you watching college football and everything this weekend, we are devastated here in Louisiana. We can use any help we can get. We're gonna bounce back. We have done it before, but we deal with hurricanes, we deal with wildfires, we deal with earthquakes. Natural disasters happen, but if we stick together, we'll get through it. So I'm doing this today to let the world know that we are here, we're gonna be here. Help us if you can, or pray for us if you have to. I'm just like everybody else, guys. I might be the sheriff, but I'm just like everybody else. I'm trying to recover, and my family is here, and I can't ask for more than that, so I'm happy.
Sheriff Mike Treg, we are grateful for you, sir. Thank you very much, and we're sorry you're going through this.
Appreciate it. Y'all take care. Appreciate y'all.
So again, the sheriff, just a man and his family cleaning out their house like countless others across St. John the Baptist Parish. In LaPlace, Louisiana, Justin Michaels, the Weather Channel.